Let's say box. Let's see if we have any straight ends on it whatsoever. Wow, this side's straight-ish. I like to get it completely straight up here on the front, because that's what you're going to have to go by. And however far the back here has got this big gaping hole in it, that's just too bad. I'm just going to try and walk with it and stay as close to it as possible. Even though this is a rough cut right here. We'll go back over it again with a small one once we get the gist. If you can get it just right with the rough one there, then this step is not necessary. And if you can, then come over and help me on these bolts. I'm always having to do it twice. When you are satisfied with it, we'll take a marker and we'll get up underneath this, get it down as flat as we can, and go all around it. There's our bottom marker. I glue a stick just across every one of these bends here. That's very annoying. Just a little on each side. Get that down on there. That's how the second one turned out. Did some pretty similar thing around the riveted area there. I'm getting it right on the very end here and making sure it's on this end, and if there's any lines in here going crooked, then there shouldn't be. So we're going to mark it from end to end. And I did see that one was so very slightly off. This should correct that. Alright, we have focused all of our attention here to the very front of the boat. We have to get in here and repair a lot of rivets that we had to do to patch up that giant gulf in the front where they completely peeled it. First thing that has to come off is this plate. Okay, the inside plate's off. Good preview here of what we're dealing with now. The inside plate was covering all of that, and the outside plate outside is hiding all of that ugliness and seamed up all throughout. But we need to make this in here look a whole lot better, and you can't never make it too waterproof, so we're definitely going to seal up this as best we can also. So it looks like it's cleaning time, and you really don't want to use no grinder around these rivets in here and get them loose on the outside. So it's hand sanding time.
Hey Jim.
Yeah.
I need your help cooking. Well, I don't know what temperature they're supposed to be or when I'm supposed to even take them out.
You're cooking a hot dog. We just got our plywood cut, and it's time to test it for fit. That's going to need to be trimmed because it's hitting it with the nothing on it whatsoever right now. It's going to really hit it, whether you decide to carpet it or roll something on it or whatever. So we're looking at trimming at least the little bit off. Well, after a whole lot of time sanding it and hand filing it, we got it in there with enough clearance all the way around. Did that side also. We have some bolts underneath there, I know, that need to be marked and taken out. I say taken out, I meant drilled out. We got some marks, pretty decent on the top. Bottom ones was fairly hard to see, but I seen them just good enough to put a little blue dot right in the middle of them. Make sure it's flush up there. It's not on that side. Okay. It's a whole lot better up here now. Missing around the sides. And flush up here on the side. Alrighty. Woo. One of our markings got a little rough. That's the front and the front here. I was having to lay on my belly here and reach my arm under that through there and try to get underneath this first hatch. We just put our filler boards in. We just got through drilling a hole right in the middle of them. That's going to be for the seat mount. Got our plywood. It's done up here and a hole drilled in the middle of it. That hole's a little bit bigger in the plywood because this up here flares out. And that is the one we're going to be using. I'm going to clean it up, bead blast it and all that. Let's see. Time the tester. Make sure these holes in here are aligning. Oops. Alright, I'm either looking in the camera view or in real view. Alright, holes are aligning. That's a good start. Oh, okay. I got a little nervous there. Apparently that does matter if this is turned the wrong way. Let's see, we're not done with this up here. No, I was thinking, oh, cool. We got the dry box we'll have to set up here. Oops. Figure out where it's gonna go and marked around the bottom of it. To figure out where to put this in, we had to get out the tri-square here and measure in from the edge here and find out that, you know, how deep this goes in, and then measure in here, and of course measure in here to make sure you don't end up cutting too far over and then it couldn't slide down because of the aluminum underneath. Alright, now we'll check our box for fit and filed anything that needs filed. Also gotta clean that up. Everything on there's a rough cut. It fit in there a little better than I was expecting, actually. Well, it's not going down, but it's not far from it either. Perfect. A perfect fit. And it did end up being on, being able to get this on 2 main braces. That's a good thing. And I am highly considering not adding one on the other side. Still thinking about that. I was able to go all around the outside of them and pretty close to a lot of them with the wire wheel on the drill. Bug, you're fixing to become part of the boat. There. As far as updating goes, basically just trying to figure out where to put that cup holder. I did remove some rusty screws I found underneath the, the side tabs that hold up the plywood. Woohoo, big deal, I know. That stuff in there is dry. It's going to get another coat. I went back over it, seen what all was missing or what all I'd missed, and or it was too thin on. Like all those holes, for instance. It just, if it'll focus, it just barely, because of the bubble filled them. So I'm going to go back over it, of course. The whole thing, too. Plate and all. Anyway, figuring out where to put the cup holder. Out here messing around, basically. Got the seat up on there. Who knows? Looking though. Well, the easy picking aluminum is out the window. We had to go in here and I found some channel. And I had to cut this all by hand. Now that just goes to show you motivation, dedication, what you can do. Cutting all of this right here if you are motivated enough.
He cut all that right over there on the bandsaw.
Dang near forgot we were trying to put another storage area up here, another storage hatch. Almost forgot. I was out of the deck building phase. I guess it's time to go back in, but that's why we were in there cutting these aluminum channel. And seeing what else we got. We're going to try to make a hatch here on the side for a, instead of putting the dry box in here and sucking up the rest of the room. So we'll just have one dry box over there and over here a big hatch. Hopefully, because if I can't throw my backpack in there, I don't want to. It can be rough. Still, even with ripping these new pieces here, we could really use 2 more of decent length here, or just some regular angle. Wished I could have found another piece like this. That's definitely not going to happen. I searched. We'll probably end up going with this kind of stuff, but I'll ask and see if we can spend some monies on some angle. No, I'm not going to ask. I'm going to go get some money for some angle. Well, we're going to be using this crap, and I get to work on the boat a lot later tonight. I guess we might as well figure out where we're going to be putting this. We measure it, make sure, re-square it, make sure it's square, and mark off what we need to cut off here of this little lip. Oh yes, it's perfectly in the way of it. can go on about right there. Move that lip removed back to here. Okay. Okay, we got the lip cut off of it. Showed that. Put it on here. I will clamp it on that side over here and try to find the square again. Okay, that's, yep. And I'll clamp down this side. Try to do it out of our way here. Let's figure out on where we're going to put our rivets first. That looked pretty good. And now we need to figure out how far in to do our drilling for the rivets. I like to punch these no matter where the rivet ends up. I'm going to punch these to keep this bit from crawling. Also use a undersized drill bit to start with. Also aids in keeping this from crawling. With this littler size bit here, if it does go to crawling, you can correct it. Calm down. You can do it. Get in there. Yay. Time to put on our second piece here since we got the first one down already. Okay, we got that side clamped and brought another clamp over here to make sure nothing goofy happens. And we got it pre-drilled. Now we're going to drill it with a 1/8, the size we want it to be. We just got the second rivet in it over here. And it's got two over here. We can take these clamps off. We could take them clamps off. Alright. Had that one on there, huh? It's extremely sturdy. It's time to do the back piece, I suppose, before we come over and do the side. For this back piece here, you really need to get whatever size plywood you're using. Lay it on top of it. We'll have to find a 1/2 inch piece around there. That's what I got on this. I'm pretty sure this is one. Lay it up on top of it. Need a smaller one so it'll hold itself, which I'll have to find. I see it way over there. Walk on the rib game. It's fun. And lay that on there. And you're going to need to get now a, let's see, your door. And preferably, you really need to get your hinge. Because you need to check and see where you want this to open. Do you want it to open right here? And make sure, basically, I don't care as long as it leans up against the boat. You sure don't want to put it too far back where it's sitting straight up in the air and won't hold itself. Then you can have fun putting an arm on there. And if you want to go that route, whichever. I'm going to lean her in a little bit. Get her in around, yay. I'd like for it to lay all the way back and just lay there. That way when you're loading crap, yeah, you know anyway. Alright, we got this bottom brace here measured out. I think it was 11 inches, something like that from this way. I don't like how close it is, but you know, any further back, and the door hatch here won't open like I like it to. So it'll be right here. I've already got them pre-drilled with a smaller bit. We're running the 1/8 through them. Drilling our hole in here for the, from where I'm sitting, the left hatch support. Alright, there we go with our storage frame. The rivets over here had to go sideways to the rivets over here for hole avoidance, but they are in there. And them long ones ended up being just right. Wherever I'm looking here, yeah, I'm looking right there somewhere. Anything shorter than that would have been a problem. Them long ones was perfect. Yes, sir, that was just perfect. On all four sides. Next up here, we need to get the plywood back out here and then crawl through that hole the best we can, or however we have to do it. We do have the hatches cut out now, and we'll mark around the inside of this on the bottom of our plywood. Just got through doing a final check, reaching all under here and feeling for any kind of sharp edges, and then I realized that I hadn't filed this one down yet, so I had to go back over it and file it down. Don't want nothing to butcher you while you're reaching into your storage area. Alright, new day now. I come over here this morning, I was looking at that going, what the crap? I don't know if I was tired putting that in or just insane. You don't want anything sitting up here, especially something very thick on top of this rail. That's going to obviously see under the board there, the plywood. I made a slit here and a slit here, so these will slide up in here if it's underneath this one like it's supposed to be, and setting down on that one. Okay, get them in there. Will not slide in there. There we go. Let's see, there little hosies that line up still. That's good. Oh yeah. Alright, all little hosies are lining up. I'm just going to re-rivet these on back in here and move this back up to the top of this rail, because otherwise that would have just been stupid. Oh yeah, I put down more goop last night. Had all that extra left over, nothing to do with it, so I recoated all that, and I just went around every other little rivet after cleaning it that I could. Redid that patch over there, which, you know, all of them has it already on the outside and been done up really good out there, but which is where you want to do them. That's where the water pressure is pressing up on it, but might as well have done it. I had some extra. Let's go ahead and get these in. We got that back in there finally. Most of them drop right back in the same holes. I did have to run the drill a couple of times through one of these there. It was very close. No, it wasn't these. It was very close. Just slightly wouldn't go. Okay, I think that is it. It's going to sit a whole lot more level now with this piece. I don't know if I showed before, but it was a mile off and it was silly. And no, I just got that box back there in there for the fun of it, to get it out of my way. Actually, I needed the room over there. And it's not going to go in there. We have the deck in here, and it should be correct now. We pushed it, make sure it's fitting, took out the hatches for the storage, made sure everything's fitting correctly. Besides, you know, the wobbly wood. You can temporarily tack this baby on down with a couple of screws. I'm not going to. I'm going to try to hold it down and see if we can't get underneath this storage hatch over here. I know it's here somewhere. There it is.
If I can reach all the way back.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Biggest problem is getting the wood to sit down here as flat as you can. And I'm just going around it, marking on the inside of it. And we will measure outwards here in a minute. That should do it. We'll let the wood be the judge of that, though. Nothing wrong before. No, that'll do it. Sure. That's a crazy, crazy hatch design. And I'll still measure this right here and make sure I'm not doing anything dumb like getting the outside of it, you know. That would be a major error, so. Our mark on there was correct. I had measured this against it to make good and sure. That 1/2-inch plywood's pretty expensive. Don't be doing no crazy markings. Alright, next thing up is we want to measure this here and see how far in we want to come. This is where we're actually going to cut the wood out there. And we're going to be cutting it back on all of these sides here. So let's see, all this is the same width except for this one, but it's bigger, so that doesn't matter. We need to figure out how far in we're going to go, and this is going to show us, if I can get it in the camera, this is going to show us how much of this stuff's still going to be showing, as well as how much wood you're going to have to be able to, the plywood that's not, you know, the hatch is going to be able to screw down to this. So you don't want to get too near the edge, because you know you have to cut your board down a little bit for your carpet to fit over, or for whatever. If you can, this is a user's choice here. You can make it where just a little baby bit is on there and just barely hold it. I like to give it some bite. So let's move it up to at least, I said move it almost halfway. And that way, when we cut down the wood to make it a little smaller, it'll still have something that it's holding on. And for the fun of it, I check it on every one of them. Be like that right there, and then once you cut off a little bit, be like that. You'll still have a good grippage all the way around it. Now check every one of them, make good and sure, make it dumb proof. Yes sir, that has plenty on that one. Alright, that will be our marks. So we'll bring it out here. And the goal is to make it, like I said, if you cut it right here, just like carving a pumpkin, it's gonna just fall straight through. All of those fancy little things that we just got through making the frame. So we'll have to pick a line here and stick with it. And we will extend our line outwards as far up as we've measured and mark all the way around it like that. Or one mark is what I usually do on the end here, turn it around here the other way if I can get it. One mark here, and we'll take a straight edge after we do all four corners that way. One here and one here, one here and one here, and just run them all to meet. And that'll be where we're actually going to cut.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?